Wilson is behind bars on other charges, including burglary and battery in Lee County. WPTV News Channel 5's Jillian Idle spoke to an ex-girlfriend in Palm Beach County who says she had her own violent experiences with him. Jillian.
And Wade Wilson has an extensive criminal history. Record shows since 2010 he's been arrested more than 20 times throughout the state of Florida with charges like burglary and trespassing, also fraud and assault. He's even spent time here in the Palm Beach County Jail.
He called me the day he got out of jail recently.
Kelly Matthews last spoke to Wade Wilson in August of this year after he was arrested in July for sexual battery and abuse towards another girlfriend at the time. Those charges were later dropped after Wilson spent a month in jail.
Sexual battery. Okay. You come to find out also that this dude was like a bottom shelf Brad. Okay, you find out that this man was, he didn't have a car, she had a car, and it was a Charger, and when she wasn't comfortable with him using it to go see a friend, he got mad and just took it. So this guy was just This guy was a Timu Tyrone. All right. And there's some stuff you're going to find out about this man versus bear argument later on.
Earlier this week, investigators arrested the 25-year-old yet again in Southwest Florida, this time for burglary and battery. Matthews says she isn't surprised.
He was arrested for robbing me in December. He robbed me and took off with a friend of mine to Texas. So they went after him for that, and he got probation.
Then, 2 months later, she says things got much worse. She claims he kidnapped her, took her to the Keys, and sexually assaulted her.
I thought he was going to kill me that night.
Matthews says she's been in contact with Wilson's dad since learning that he could have a connection to 2 homicides in Cape Coral. Friday, Cape Coral police named him a person of interest in the disappearance and death of Diane Ruiz and Christine Melton.
So the thing is like, this is wild, man. This is wild right here. Okay. One of the women, this woman right here, he strangled and just deleted her. This other woman right here, he strangled, right? Tried to deceive her into thinking like he wanted directions to a school. And the fact of matter is like he got in the car, he strangled her, but she was still alive, so he threw her out the car and ran over, and in his words, till she looked like spaghetti. That's what he did. Okay? That is what he did. That's what his father had to say. It's just wild, man. It's wild right here.
What do you mean by that?
I felt like he was wanting me to feel the way.
Do you know Wade Wilson?
He's my son.
Steven Testaseca is Wilson's biological father. Back on October 7th, 2019, he got call after call from his tattoo-covered son.
He just told me, he did something. There was 2 people gone that would not be back. He said, I'm a killer. I just thought it was another story.
Testaseca recalls Wilson telling him how he met Christine Melton at a bar and ended up at her home.
He said he got on top of her and choked her.
Hours later, he said Wilson ran into Diane Ruiz, somehow got her into the car, and choked her too.
He said that he pulled her out of the car and realized that she was still breathing. He said he got back in the car and ran her over until she looked like spaghetti.
Wilson showed no emotion as evidence continued to pile up. His biological dad ultimately turned him over to police.
What's his demeanor as he's telling you?
He was excited.
You say excited, what do you mean by that?
I felt like he was wanting me to feel the way he felt about it.
Did he seem proud of it?
Yes.
Did he seem to show any kind of remorse?
Yeah.
And was he able to go and...
My thing is this, okay, Wade was given up to an adoption agency when his parents were young. His parents had him when they were 14. They gave him up for adoption. All right. He went to a nice family, doing good grades in school, and he just one day ended up having mental illness, and that's when things went bad for Wade. So life just went straight to crap. So it's a very scary thing. I understand, 14, they couldn't take care of the kid. But maybe if they had some contact with the foster parents and possibly have built a bond, things may have turned out different. May have turned out different. It's sad. Okay. And this is something here that I find very disturbing here. And women say they want to choose the bear, right? But this is what's going on. One minute. Apologize for the fan blowing in the background. It's really hot where I'm at in New York. So, yeah. I'm turning on the fan. Here we are.
Wade Wilson was sentenced to the death penalty for unaliving 2 women. And the top search for this man is Wade Wilson found. And when you go to videos about him, you have women talking about how attractive he is. You have women making videos about how attractive he is. This is a man who brutally unalived 2 women. But these are the same women who picked the bear. And that's exactly why my take was exactly like it was. Because the reality is, when y'all find a man to be attractive, you don't see any fear. You're only scared of men you don't find attractive. Shout out to John Cannon because he said it first. Y'all only are scared of men that you don't find attractive. But fine men can get away with anything with y'all. If that man is attractive, he can get you to come to his house without you knowing him. He can come pick you up from your house without you knowing him. He can get away with murder, literally, when y'all find him to be attractive. There's a psychopath here on TikTok who got a comment section full of women shooting a shot at him. Even though he has been clinically diagnosed as being a psychopath, he has even talked about he has thoughts of unaliving people, and women still want him. Women are still in his comment section shooting a shot. You know why? Because women find him to be attractive. And y'all let men who are attractive get away with a lot. And this is why when women go around lying and talking about they don't care about looks, I just laugh. And I laugh even harder at the men who believe that women don't care about looks.
That's the thing, man. I mean, the thing is, women say, I will choose the bear, but you're choosing the man still. Okay? You're choosing a man that is toxic. All right? And usually this argument is from women who are feminists, and they try to downplay and say all men are bad. No, your choices in men are bad, okay? Now, of course, there have been situations where you had no control over it, right? Maybe some guy took advantage of you in the middle of the night. Okay, that's different. But for some of you, you guys had relationships with men that you knew, okay? And there were red flags that you didn't see, okay? Just like Wade Wilson's ex-girlfriend, okay? There had to be flags that she saw, all right? But she ignored them. I mean, this woman let it get to the point where he kidnapped her and did horrible things to her, okay? Where's the accountability? Where is it? That's what I like to know. because it's coming out that you women want to lust after this dude. Another one. Let's check this out right here. Right here.
All you women who are commenting under the Wade Wilson video saying how beautiful he is and how gorgeous he is and how it's such a waste because he's such a beautiful man and how you can't wait to follow him to the psych ward and how you want to call him daddy and be his pen pal. Actual comments that I've seen, by the way. What happened to the I would choose the bear energy? Because now we're looking at a real life monster. Someone that we actually should choose the bear over. And because we think he's cute, suddenly we're willing to accept red flags. Another comment that I've actually seen. So what I'm learning is it's only an issue, it's only a concern or a problem if we deem the man unattractive. Otherwise, it's flattery.
Pretty much. Okay. It's pretty much flattery. Women make rules for men they don't like and break rules for men that they do like. That's basically it. And just to make I'm making a video about this because of the fact that how deep this goes. All right, we have Hollywood spewing this propaganda. Remember the movie Twilight? Robert Pattinson's character as a vampire, and we had the other dude playing a werewolf, a vampire who sucks blood out of people. All right, and curses them with a lifestyle that they always have to come out at night and they have to drink blood. And for some reason, that is supposed to be romantic to women. Okay? You have these love novels where the man is a complete deranged lunatic, but he's handsome, has six-pack, all right, has a way with words, and he makes you fall in love with him. But if that man had the body of Archie Bunker or the body of Biggie Smalls or Biz Markie, it doesn't matter if he can spit words. He's unattractive. And it brainwashes women to think, looks can override your common sense. I could change him. That's what it is. I can change him. That's the mantra. I can change him because he looks good, I could change him. I could make him a better man. That's the nonsense that's going on. All right. You even have a fan club right now. They have a fan club on TikTok right now. Okay, to save Wade Wilson. He has 3,756 followers. There are many TikTok pages like this. All right. Where people are literally women trying to have his sentence commuted to life or saying nonsense like he didn't do it. I wonder what would happen if it was their loved ones. Would they have the same tune? All right. We also have to look at the fact of, remember when I said that we have Hollywood pushing this type of propaganda? We're having it that women cannot take accountability as well for their choices. And there's money in that because you have a lot of women who have been brainwashed by feminism that don't want to hear anything about accountability. That's why you will have them paying money to gurus like Oprah, all right, or anybody else. All right. Or many of these YouTube gurus who are female that will tell them what they want to hear. There is money and propaganda in telling women what they want to hear and not holding them accountable for bad choices, which will possibly have you end up with a man that is pleasing to your eye but will act like the devil. So this man versus, I choose the bear over the man. Men are dangerous, but you have women drooling over these types of men. Women have been drooling over these type of men for decades. Women have been drooling over Ted Bundy, Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, the man who abused a 6-year-old girl. Okay? Who terrorized, I believe, Los Angeles. And because, and she's right when I in that video I posted up, if a man is good looking, all right, he can get away with anything with women. Not have a job, as long as he's pleasuring her, he will get away with everything. Stealing her car, kidnapping her, robbing her. And because he's good looking, and you may be average, you'll think, wow, I've actually pulled a guy, but he treats me like crap, but I like the affection. Well, what about men? Well, we already know with men, they're simps, okay? And let's just be honest here, okay? Men and women are not equals. When men mess up and they get a woman and she's totally treating him like crap, he gets shamed for it. He's told, you better do better next time. How could you let that happen? But for a woman, she can't take that backlash. She'll make excuses. She'll cry and say you're victim blaming. All right? And I was having an argument on Facebook about this because guess what? There was a poster of a man on Facebook, right? And he's homeless, quote unquote. He lives in a shelter, and he's crying online about how he don't like it in a shelter, and women are offering to give him a place to stay. A complete stranger, they are offering to give a place to stay. And guess what? The guy has the features that have these women attracted to him. And women are arguing like, why are you making fun of homeless people? I'm not making fun of homeless people, but I'm understanding the game here that you guys are trying to play. That's what I'm understanding. That because a man has attractive features that you may like, anything he does, anything he says to you goes out the window. They're not thinking, well, why is this man in a shelter? Okay? Why is this man on Facebook trying to get sympathy when he should be working to get himself out a shelter? That's what should be the question asked. And I asked that question with an individual, and that person just kept saying, well, you don't know how hard it is. You don't know what it's like to be in a shelter. In a shelter, it may not be good, but you can have other shelters you can go to. And in a shelter, you have social workers. You have 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay? You have a shower. And that's that. It's a shelter. It's not your apartment or your house. It's meant to be uncomfortable for you to get your stuff together and to leave. Excuse me. But still, women were trying to justify this man. Asking women to stay at their place. And women were offering to have him at his place. To have him at their place. You don't know this man, but you want him in your house. A man that could possibly overpower you, abuse you and your loved ones. But you want to give him a chance because you find him attractive. Don't give me that fact that, oh, he's down on his luck, it's hard times. Do not give me that, because you wouldn't give that to a man who's not attractive, maybe in his 50s, a pot belly, and not so tall. You wouldn't give that same energy. This is why I say that bear versus man argument is garbage. utter garbage. You want the right to pick a man, and God forbid it blows up in your face. You don't want any consequences for it. Hate to say it, but I'm seeing that women can be easily led astray by features that they are attractive to. All types of reasoning go out the window. Not all women. But the women I see, like when you argue about this online, I see it that way. Just like for a woman that if she's beautiful and is attractive to a man, she can't get away with certain things. Cheating, stealing, murder. There's a woman on TikTok that she's basically said she's a clinically diagnosed psychopath. And men will still like her. But let's go back to the females. Just like with men, they're handsome, have a good build, know how to speak, know how to charm a woman, especially charm a woman out of her undergarments. He can do a lot of damage to a woman. But when that's brought up and you say, hey, you women got to choose better, there's offense to that. Women get mad. Women start getting angry. But it's the truth. Because if you could lust and thirst over a man that has been convicted of harming, brutalizing, unaliving 2 women and still want to play this game, I choose the bear over the man. Men are scary, but you're going to choose a man who done this? You're going to cry about domestic violence, but you're choosing a man like this? Make that make sense. I choose the bear over the man, but you're going to bars and clubs to hook up with total strangers. But you're going to choose the bear. How's that make sense? Men you don't even know. From the club, you going home with him and hooking up. But you choose the bear. Something happens to you, you become a single mom, all of a sudden all men are crap. All men are trash. Because you chose a poor choice in a man. It doesn't make any sense. That's why I say with feminism, you want the ability to act like the character of a man. You want to make all the irresponsible choices. You want to have the reckless sex. But you forget when men make these choices, they are held accountable. They may lose their family. They may lose their income. They may lose their reputation. And for women, they don't want to go through that. Ever notice that? When a woman cheats or she does something real foul, like after a divorce, the man finds out that all the children that he helped raise with her in the marriage are not his. The first thing that comes out the mouth of the people, the court of public opinion, what did the man do? What was she going through? Like, she's always the victim. Like, in every situation, the woman can never, ever make a bad choice. See what I'm saying here? And it's sad that with this gynocentric society, because let's face it, there is money. There's tons of money in just coddling women, making sure they never reach maturity. And why do you think in marriages today, they fall apart? Because one side is mature and the other one isn't. The one side, which is the man, he has to be mature, because if he don't, and something it falls apart, it's that people are going to look at him. What did you do? But for the woman, our gynocentric society makes it sure that she always has a safety net for when she messes up. That's why they can make stupid arguments like, hey, who would you want in the woods? A man or a bear? You want a bear that is shown by documented evidence that when it impregnates a female bear, it will abandon the female bear or kill the female bear, and will also eat its own bear cubs. That's who you want watching over your daughter? Well, it's just metaphorical. It could be, the man. It's still, you're putting the bear. The man has the characteristics of a bear. Will beat you, may SA you, and may eat you. So the argument doesn't make any sense. And I hate the fact that sometimes when you ask, okay, well, you want bear? Would you want your daughter to find a bear or a man in the woods? Well, is the man competent? That he has good character? He can protect my daughter? That's what I would like. No. It's just man or the bear. Because they don't want no context, because if there's context, then they won't get the outcome that they desire. That question is engineered to make men look like demons, and an animal is more competent than a man. An animal with no reason, just purely instinct, that if it's hungry, it's just going to act. So a woman be next to a bear and just lay on the bear's shoulder. If that bear's hungry, he's not going to, wait a minute, this is a human. This human is nice to me. It's going to be, I'm hungry, I'm eating the human. That's what's going to happen. You see how foolish this argument is, and it's just designed to cause division between men and women. That's all it is. That's all it's for. All right. So, I'm done. Check me out on YouTube, Hard Talk Radio, live in 4K. I do social and political commentary. If you're there, you feel like, donating to the Cash App, feel free to donate to the Cash App if you want. If you like the content, please hit like, all right? It puts it through the algorithm. And that's about it. All right? Later.